Right, wrapping up things. What do we need? This is strange. How the hell are you gonna get fired? Right, because these things overlap, so how do you get... Wait. Right. Okay, where basically there's water in many ways, that's where we need to place these jugs. Right, first line is done. We need to add fire there. Does this work? Fire, 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 water, water, water. And we need add a single thing there, and that'll be it. And there was much rejoicing. We're combat ready no matter what comes our way. There is a crypt here. There's also a desiccated undead level 11. Seems fairly unremarkable. Air, fire vulnerabilities. Earth and poison doesn't do much. It's a mage. Geomancer, Necromancer. I think we're just gonna go in there and kick ass. It's not tough enough to cause trouble. What are these? There's 4 buttons. Maybe we shouldn't be too hasty here though. See what happens.
Be wary. The urns will shatter. The bones will rise.
Right, before each sarcophagus is a broken vase. Or a vase.
The glowing corpse looks to you. The erratic rising and falling of its sternum is accompanied by melodramatic gurgles.
Come to me.
Look at the no. Step away from the console.
The creature groans.
Basically because it's the Red Prince that wanted to do that dialogue. I'm not playing that game. A lot of cursed blood. Ooh, that's a cursed urn, obviously. Might be able to bless it. It's very tough to break accidentally. Right, the normal urns are level 1. The troublesome one have an effect around them and they're around 300 hit points. More is a skill research. Supernova, that's a fire spell. Grubby Tome, very suspicious looking. Looks like the skill tome of the first game. The Undead Among Us, author Midin Hex, Chapter 7, The Lich. These manipulative creatures are unique among the undead, not because they may command swords. Many rekindled souls draw from their own inner well, after all, but because it flows from an apparently everlasting wellspring into their bones and hollows. Several manners of harvesting a lich's supply of source are known, though you must of course identify the creature as such before siphoning away its essence. You may recognize a lich by its bizarrely venous glow and haughty presence. You may learn its name by reciting this simple chant. In void you fail, and from void you come. Reveal your truth to me. What is a skill research? This book is filled with pages of notes on necromancy, eternal life, and the dark arts. Near the end, you find a passage detailing how to inscribe this darkness on paper. Tune recipes. Oh, that's a weird one. Looks like a source-colored scroll. Curse scroll. Any void-tinted fish, high-quality tormented soul, and herb. I am interested in those. They would be very effective against certain enemies, like a cursed ice, for example. Move around it and you freeze, even though you have the shields on. Alien tormented soul. As long as it's not a minor tormented soul, you can probably do this. And this is a good reason to have void-tinted fish. Break the vases and the bones come. It wants to be free, naturally. The question is, why would we want to free it? We probably want to kill it, if anything. 2 chests. Control board. These are chests, right? Oh, there's something. But the question is, what exactly am I supposed to do here? That's one of the chests we need to be worried about.
Won't budge.
Right, the sarcophaguses are not the important things here. Very irrelevant. Large masterwork rune and a rune frame of power. Probably +3 to strength. Okay, let's see what we can squeeze out of this one.
You see an undead figure chained to a torture rack, bones glowing a sickly green as if lit from within. It raises its head to look at you before lowering it again, exhausted from the effort.
Please, release me.
Mystic, an undead creature, lich perhaps. You try to recall the chant that forces one to reveal its true name.
The creature's eyes roll in your direction. Its gasps grow more urgent.
In void you fell, and from void you come. Reveal your truth to me.
The creature's whine turns to a roar. The room reverberates as it shouts forth its own name.
I am Zash. The lights may not illuminate me, yet in darkness I cannot hide.
The beast goes silent and looks toward the nearby panel.
Ask it what crime led to its imprisonment here.
Mordus, the priest, not what he claims to be. Without me, he is nothing. A worm, a grub. He doesn't draw upon his own strength, his own source. With this contraption, he draws upon mine. Free me! Release me from Mordus' torture!
Inform him that Mordus has been dealt with.
The fiend is gone then. Oh, glory to the stars! My soul, no longer his to imprison. The panel, please.
I'm going to free him just to see where this goes. Have sympathy, offer to set it free.
The skeleton ekes out a crackling moan.
The panel. Seven bless you.
I want to try something. We're going to take a touch at one of the cursed places, see what happens. Right. So a lot of undead pop up. This is not exactly as promised. Not sure I want to fight them now. They're probably a decent amount of experience, some loot. But I would really like to wrap things up now. The Lich, if we had to fight that, that doesn't even matter, because he might actually provide some kind of a unique item, or at least good loot. Maybe even a spell. Locals here what to do. Look at the device. Mug of blood.
Rubbish.
Not rubbish. You're just rubbish at carrying anything. We're pressing buttons randomly. Has to be a better way to do this. I mean, the inventory management. Okay, this seems to be like we don't have much of a choice but just test things. Could have been useful once upon a time, now irrelevant. Actually, who knows? Some of our gear is just god awful. So maybe not. Finesse trousers, I guess. Armor-wise, not bad. Terrible abilities. At the same time, the current one doesn't really have anything but +1 to wits. So, yeah, I'll switch up. Okay, let's see what happens. Yellow seems like good color. I'll probably open that one. So yellow would probably release and then... since the fight's now started, we might as well fight it to the end. Shouldn't be too bad.
Yield to none!
Yeah, these guys are just not up to the task of fighting enemies of our level. Still not gonna say no to free experience. You mostly have healing powers, which is okay, I guess. Skeletal Skull Crusher.
Glory is mine.
See if we can kill those two at the same time. Yeah, they're just too low level. It's sort of embarrassing how bad they are. Summon something new. Enchanted Bones. Poison Blade. I healed him, but he died anyway. Everything's tied to the levels to such an extreme extent that it's ridiculous. Slightly closer. Probably a lethal attack. Not quite. But all his armor is gone. I basically did nothing. There's no point in really doing anything because they're so goddamn pathetic. It's gonna move and die, right? Just pathetic is the word. At the same time, they do provide a decent amount of experience, no matter how bad they are. Could have been a nice situation quite a few levels ago. Ooh, high quality tormented soul. This is actually fairly good loot. Terror grenades and all. Acid stained key.
Nice.
Probably opened one of these.
It's broken.
Loot the corpse, you dumbass. How did I press everything? Probably not the green one.
Freedom! About time, too! I can't tell you how long Mordus has been draining me. I'm absolutely famished for sauce and sinew.
The creature harumphs.
You free the master of the magical arts. For that, I'll leave you alive and untasted. For demolishing Mordus's minions, I'll give you a skill book of your choice. Choose your subject.
Can you teach me sword skills?
I offer you life and learning, and you're still begging for more? You're wasting my time. Here, just take a book. Its wisdom might do you some good.
He gave me the one goddamn book that's totally worthless to me.
Speaking of which, allow me to share some wisdom of my own.
The undead creature bears 2 rows of broken, cratered teeth.
Stay out of my way. Curse you, Waters, and curse your blasted machine. Will.
He's gonna die.
The creature begged for release, but can it be trusted?
Might as well hunt it down before it causes too much trouble.
He who wakes an ancient evil must slay said ancient evil. If that's not an expression, it should be.
Gods be damned. Now it's gonna leave a mess, and I'm gonna have to clean it up.
I say we hunt it down. Sometimes it's fun to play the hero.
I'm more upset that he gave me such a terrible loot item. Arrow spray. I mean, technically there's nothing wrong with it, but it requires a ranged weapon, and yeah, this is another thing I learned when I actually tried to make a hunter that would have used wands, is that ranged weapons means bows, not ranged weapons. So wands cannot be used in conjunction with skills that require a ranged weapon. Which sucks, because I would have loved to make a hunter spellcaster of some sort. When the game says no, the game says no. Okay, where would the undead lich go? Going to cause trouble here. I mean, if there was a lich bombarding things here, we probably would know. We freed the lich. Hungry, it quickly fled. Well, balls. This is important enough that I can't just ignore it. I have no idea where it would go. Maybe the cloister would? Could have asked the guards, maybe they saw something. Are you following me?
I'm so very...
Oh, what is it?
Back again, honey. What you after?
She fluffs the...
You're so very, very sweet to notice. Go on and scoot then.
Ah, god damn it. Let's try to move across the important locations.
Can't I go play with the others?
Always remember, Rannick.
It does not respond to my touch. There must be a way to activate it.
Speed. Was around level 12. So I'm not sure what would be appropriate. Why? Maybe we should go back to the town. It could have left a trail for us to actually follow. High quality shadow essence. A gravekeeper. Okay, what the hell do you have to say?
She hums quietly. The notes move in rhythm with her wandering eyes.
Inform her that Rikers can't hurt her or anyone else, not anymore. The servants are free.
The lizard pauses, and a smile crosses her face.
Me belongs to me. Servants belong to the hall. That's the way I like it.
Her hum returns, soft at first, then blossoming into a full-fledged hymn.
10 spans under, humans slept. 10 spans up, the dwarves were kept.
Right, didn't seem to make much of a difference in her life. He was pleased though, so maybe head back to the town, ask the guards if you notice the Lich teleporting around. It might not lead to anything, but I feel like that potential breadcrumbs trail is there. Ooh, we could talk to the spirit deer too. We found its grave, but it seemed like it completed the quest then and there, so I'm not sure if it matters.
The spirit of the stag stares upwards at its own mounted head.
My head and spirit stay here with my master, but my body lies at the halo of wildflowers, with the damnable one who took...
Yeah, we found that. I'm heading back. See if we can find something a little bit more than just randomly running about. This is the worst thing that can happen. Well, maybe not the worst, but pretty bad anyway. I mean, surely if a Lich comes through here, someone's going to notice.
Ah yes, one of Mari's heroes passes. Come on through.
Never met a real hero before. Come on through, but mind the smell.
No reaction.
You ever think about running off?
Every time I sort of think that now might be the time that we can wrap things up.
I'm alright, as long as I don't think about it
We
too
can't
much.
wrap things up.
You're safe,
At the same time, I'm not exactly going to rob these guys. It's just not feasible. There's too many eyes wandering about. It would be a lot of work to do it. Not worth it.
The guard glowers at you.
Glowers at me. Maybe he went after the guy who had imprisoned him. Ooh, yeah, he went through here probably.
Bled dry. Did the creature in the cellar do this?
This is excellent. Because now we don't have to guess. Oh, for fuck's sakes, can't you carry anything? Too many items. Well learned, the mass corpse explosion. Explode all corpses around you, dealing physical damage area. This is highly unlikely to be ever useful though. The main problem is that you would have to very much build the battle place with that sort of use of that item in mind. What the hell is this? Okay. Really, there aren't that many passageways it could go. The south there's a fisherman, so if it went this way, we should know. Still alive, no problems. Probably didn't come this way. There's a lot of poison damage done here. Poison bulb, blood. Oh, that's probably the direction. I notice vast pools of poison there. Spirit of Trader Liam. Simply. Did we solve that? Probably not. There's poison and sores here, but does that mean something?
She has no more time for conversation with you.
Ah, so this might have again nothing to do with it.
The void's contamination is gone.
I have no idea where he could be at this point. We know reliably from where he exited the city. That's about it. I don't see why I would come here unless I have a bit more specific reason. I mean, he could be here, but I don't have any particular reason to believe that he is here. At the same time, I think this is where the guy he was who trapped him first was. So let's assume you haven't done the that quest yet. Would he would probably set out here. That's reasonable. So I think we're gonna put a pin in this one. I'm gonna quickly check the other passages here if we notice something. If not, we'll go and explore that further. Yeah, I have really no recollection about how the situation with these was. So I can't say if he's come through here or not. Possible. That is a belt. Why is there a unique belt here?
Lucky find.
Did I throw away a belt at some point? For some reason. That seems like the case. Probably when I exchange things to the thievery belt. This is a good one though. Someone missing a belt. No, everyone's okay with their belts. And it's not a particularly great, not a particularly great belt, but still. Might be a worthwhile upgrade for him. A lot of survivability, a little bit of extra damage, but not that much. We would lose... Right, we won't actually lose all that much. Our armor gets significantly boosted. Damage will drop like what by a point. So yeah, it's not that big of a difference. Probably because while we do lose some weapon skill, we also gain some warfare skill. Still, don't understand why it was there in the first place. That's the part that troubles me the most. I don't get why it's there, which nothing being there. Right, there's nothing here. My guess is then that it did go into the cave systems where the dwarf that trapped him was. That makes sense. He would seek revenge in the case I didn't do it already. Right, if he would have come here, these guys would be dead. So, probably not here, and we know that he came out of that one, so if he would have wanted to go north, I suppose we might as well check. But I think our initial instincts are probably correct on this one. Where would he go, assuming the dwarf was still alive? Right, this is guarded by Jahan, so unless we have some evidence that it crossed this bridge too, then it has... yeah. Hard to say again, because I have no recollection. I've already killed the troll, and I don't really have a recollection how that happened. No particular reason to believe that the Lich went through this though. Right, I think going into the Reaper's Cove cave system makes the most sense. It's at least somewhere on this section of the map. That's highly probable. Where exactly, it's a different matter. Well, I'm not sure if I fully explored this with the spirit vision anyway, so in that sense this might not be a total waste of time, even if he isn't here. No, we've talked with these guys. The ship has been explored, certainly.
The ghost sways from side to side. The spirit reaches out to you. You see a dwarf trying to sneak into a room filled with barrels, barrels covered in the marks of death. There is a distant shout, and he bolts, scrabbling for freedom. He's chased to an office, to a vault. Guards are posted as he cowers inside, and you wait for word from Driftwood. But the words you hear aren't the words you expected. You hear the dwarf's voice. You hear whispers of violence. You hear the screams of your friends. The ghost pulls back, exhausted, and the vision fades.
nabbed Mordus trying to pinch a death fog machine. If I'd known this would happen, I would have just let him have it.
We should take some of the void tinted fish. We can make curse scrolls. Not something we would usually want to use, but it does offer our potential to do a lot more damage than through any other means, really. If we decide to use the surfaces as a way to deal damage.
The spirit twists and turns in front of you. It looks lost. It looks scared. It looks desperate.
Reach out to touch the spirit.
As your hand passes through the ghost, you feel its fear flow into you. You feel its confusion. You feel hands on the hard stone, ripped skin where the monster grabbed you. You're surrounded by darkness.
Concentrate and push the spirit to creep forward slowly and silently.
You start to slowly creep forward. Your hand touches the floor. It's slick with something. There's liquid on the ground. It's wet. It's warm. Oh gods, you pray it's not blood. You summon your magic and a tiny light flickers. You're kneeling in a clear pool of liquid. It isn't blood. You look up into dozens of eyes glittering in the dark. A long drip of saliva falls from the shadows. It isn't blood. You're flung from the vision, screaming ringing in your ears. Back in your own body, you double over, trying not to retch.
Oh, that sucks. Well, that was a waste of time. Well, there's a hatch.
The ghost turns to you, her finger urgently pointing towards something unseen. Silent lips move, issuing an urgent, unheard plea.
Touch the spirit.
Your hands merge together, your world twisting. Looking down, you see you're holding a barrel marked with a fatal warning. Death fog. A cart contains many barrels more, recovered from a wrecked ship. The room is filled with voices, cracking jokes and swearing oaths as you go about unloading the cart. But somewhere, in the hum of voices, one cuts through the rest. Stop, it hisses. Do your duty. You lift up the death fog, and, fighting against every step, you walk back to the cart. You pass a dwarf, struggling against the voice and winning, but you crack his skull with a barrel in your hands. One by one, the barrels are loaded again, and the cart departs. As it trundles out of the cave, the voice returns, "Come, come to me." And you feel your feet carrying you into the cavern's darkness.
But I'm not sure if there's any point in trying to interact with all of these. We more or less know what happened here already. Just want to see if the lich is here somewhere. Where exactly are we, by the way? We explored the... I think these areas. Right, so not even half yet. Move along, see where it goes. The thing is, I don't actually recall where the blasted spellcaster was here. This goes to the room where, well, up there, where the creatures were. This was their main location.
The hatchlings! They ate us! Alive! They ate us all! I watched them swallow bodies and then swallow souls. They fed on our flesh and our souls. I did not think they would ever be stopped. I did not think they could ever be stopped.
Promise the spirit that no one else will suffer like she did.
I would have said you had lost your mind, but...
She looks around the chamber, taking in the sea of cracked, broken eggs and dead Voidwoken.
But perhaps there is hope.
Right, doesn't look like there's anything particularly interesting here. Little sores here and there.
The dwarf sways in front of you. His eyes are unfocused, and he seems to be mumbling something to himself.
Lean in to hear what eldritch message the ghost might have for you.
84 tankards of beer in a cave, 84 tankards of beer. Pick one up, tip back your cup.
The ghost grasps at the handle of his mug and stares in confusion as his hand passes right through it.
4 tankards of beer. Oh no, that ain't right.
Observe that drinking is a lot easier when you still have skin and bones.
Hey, what? I don't know what you mean. I'm just trying to get a grip is all. Just wanted one last tipple before I'm back on duty. I'll be down guarding Mordus. Gets cold down in that vault. Figured a drink or two to guard against the chill wouldn't hurt, eh?
Tell the ghost to rest up here. You heard he has the day off.
Is that fact? Well, now, that's a fine thing.
The ghost tries to pick up his mug again, fumbles, and stares at it in confusion.
Slippery little devil, ain't ya?
Okay, is some of this marked as the vault? Well, there's a couple of hatches, but we've been in those. Mysterious tunnel, caves, fissures. So, not really, no. Tunnel to cave entrance. That's an exit, I guess. Mysterious tunnel, let's go there. Actually, I'm pretty sure they're all more or less just quick connecting holes. Right, I don't think the ghost can really offer me anything useful. Maybe you. Could have been useful earlier on. Okay, mysterious tunnel led us here.
was amazing. I've never seen anyone stand up to a void woken before, let alone come through in one piece. You're one hell of a fighter.
Okay, what happened?
I don't know. I didn't see it. I didn't see anything. 1 minute I'm on my way to Fort Joy, the next there are these things. They killed the Magisters, grabbed us, and took off. I came to as a ghost. Almost wish I'd gone straight to the void. They were feeding, eating me. If one of them hadn't gone for my throat, I could have woken up to that. Feeding every bite.
Right, they more or less repeat the same nonsense. Quivering dwarf. Friendly.
The dwarf keeps her face tucked away. A muffled...
I have no idea what's going on with you. Clearly I've been here before and talked with him though, so... probably made my choices then. So another exit. Is there a place I haven't been? I think this corner more or less, that's about it. Maybe there? By the way, not that many places, and that doesn't really look like there's a village here. Be one scientist woman here. Well, there was once upon a time one scientist here. And definitely no lich.
Leave me to work in peace.
Grenade components. I don't see any reason why we shouldn't at least rob the woman. I mean, she's not a friend, we don't need to interact with her, and we're definitely bailing on this, so... Sabile, Sabile, Sabile. Should have a thievery dagger at the very least that I can use. And probably an item like a gauntlet that I can't use, right? I don't particularly care. She doesn't have anything that interesting. We are gonna get a couple of grenades out of her, that's about it. Cluster grenades. A couple of canisters wouldn't hurt. Physical damage and bleeding. Reduced constitution. Love grenade. We don't really have all that many of these. Okay, we have a decent amount of cluster grenades thanks to this, so we can dump a huge amount of energy damage or magical damage on targets from without having a line of sight. But we can't do it all at many times, so that has to be a specialty thing if we're gonna use it. Either way, we're more or less going to just get the hell out.
This shrine fills you with your eyes flutter.
It doesn't really matter where we go as long as it's somewhere outside. Right, we know it came through there. There's no sign of it up here. I suppose it could always have gone to the Blood Island. I'm going to check the southern sections here. Pain in the ass is what this is. Okay, we can't actually go there. I doubt it's in the ship.
Divine order to march against the ancient empire!
Right, let's try this again. Came through here. No doubt about that. Guy here is alive. I suppose I could go in there and ask him. But maybe I'll just sort of follow the road.
Once Magister, now lost soul. He swivels his head, getting his bearings. He sees you and moves to speak, but no sound emerges.
Yeah, try to ask him where it go when.
The stench of the Magister's corpse dissipates. It's replaced with another scent, equally noxious, breath. The stink fills you, then pauses, then fills you again. Then the roar comes. Your skull rattles as the mouth of this breath creature engulfs your face. The foul odor is pushed from your lungs by a torrent of blood, then replaced by a gust of fresh air. You take a cleansing breath and look to the unnerved spirit. He points his forefinger at his chest, then back at you. The spirit looks at its own corpse, then at you. Its horrified eyes plead with you for answers.
Reach out to comfort spirit.
All goes black the moment your hand reaches the ghostly Magister. You see nothing, hear nothing, for your senses are overwhelmed by the pain of razors slicing through your flesh. One chunk of meat after another is ripped from you until there's only organ and entrail remaining. Yet you still feel tooth and claw as they skate across your bones, and the pain is released. You touch your arms, your belly, your head, relieved that you are still intact.
So this isn't useful in any way. Crap. I killed these. There's a genie beach. Well, if it's there, I should be able to see it from here already, so I doubt it's there. It's fairly hard to track because we already killed all the people he would have plowed through. So it's just a guessing game. Of the exact type I didn't want to play anymore. Suppose it could go for a battle arena of some sort. Yeah, this isn't it.
Getting the job done where I couldn't. I'm grateful for you. I'm due some rest. May your God bless your kin and their kin.
I guess he wanted me to douse the fire. Right, there's nothing here. This looks promising though. Currently a lot of poison.
I swear, I should have expected nothing less. They wander across a tragedy, and how do they spend their time? Gawking at the dead like they're nothing more than a sack of cloth and flesh to be looted. Bloody parasite. Wait, can you see me? Elves, teeth. How'd you manage that?
Well, explain that you're God-woken, one of the last actually.
The dwarf's eyes narrow, and he squares his shoulders. His hand seems to instinctively drop to his waist.
That a fact. And here I thought our darling Bishop Alexander was the only one. So God-woken are powerful, eh? Powerful enough to control minds? To force brothers to draw steel against each other?
You look at the devastation that surrounds you. Is that what happened here?
The dwarf nods grimly. After a long moment, he swallows and starts to speak.
We were doing some work round these parts. Smuggling, stealing, removing the odd witness. You know, bread and butter stuff. We were sitting here, eating, drinking, telling tales. When some of the lads, their eyes turned black as pitch. Next thing I know, my best mate's buried his dagger in my gut. And there's void woken everywhere you look. Them that didn't die were carried off to the cave. Might be I was the lucky one, lying there, bleeding out.
Ask about this cave. What happened there?
Was the day I'd have to cut you just for asking. Don't suppose it makes much of a difference now. The cave was our base, where we wrecked, smuggled and stored the loot. The entrance is through the ruins over yonder. For all the good it'll do you. Might be swarming with void woken by now.
The dwarf died a hero, and so did his friends. Tell him that this evil won't stand.
Kind words. But there ain't none that'll undo what we saw. Most we can hope for now is some peace in the Hall of Echoes.
Fair enough. Right, I don't recall if the poison was always here or not. Ooh, what is that? Did not notice that before. No marking on the map.
There's food, bedding, and ash in here. There's food, bedding, and ash in here. Looks like someone cleared out of this nook in a hurry.
What does that mean? This is where more or less the ambush was, I guess. So we have to presume that Mr. Lich went north then. Trader Liam's there. Spirit of Trader Liam at least. Desiccated undead. Oh, there you are. Thank God.
The creature devours the corpses as a vulture devours carrion, stopping only as you approach.
I have my freedom. You have your reward. Do you not recall my warning? He drained me. Let me feed. Oh, I cannot control the hunger.
Stay still, stay silent. Watch as the creature eats.
It raises a handful of viscera to its mouth, then pauses, sensing your gaze.
Keep distant, mortal. When the craving ends, when my freedom is secured, I will again see you rewarded.
Zaz, what is this creature exactly?
In life, I was a wizard. As close to Amadia as a kitten to its mother. In undeath, I am a lich. Source streams through my bones like blood through veins.
Not in understanding and let it feed. It will be free of his hunger and anger soon. No, he basically killed a group of innocents to do it. Move in for the kill. Bone dance. I did this because I need to know what you can get from killing it. That's more or less. I don't care about that. All the same to me. I think we're gonna go with physical damage. Well, we sort of have to. Whether we want to or not is pretty much irrelevant. Lowering his defenses wouldn't be a horrible thing. I think we can use as many action points as possible in this one. We want to play him out of the fight quickly. He's not that tough an opponent. Season Decayed. Okay, wrong targets, but whatever. Oh, come on.
Stay your weapon, and I will reward you in turn. I only wish to regain what was taken from me. Let me eat.
Kill it.
You deliver a final blow. The beast clatters to the ground, its hunger gone unquenched.
Right, I think there's probably a more interesting way to do this. Just let it feast. However, okay, you need to do the goddamn looting, otherwise we're overburdened again. I feel this solution is better or more fitting for my character. I could not be a hero and let it just feast on a bunch of people with holding water barrels. It just does not sit well with me.